Okay, so I work down in chemistry, and my job down there is to help researchers use technology to enhance their research. Mostly that involves taking existing tools, either within the university or out on the web, occasionally new ones, and put them together in interesting ways to get stuff done. And that's the key. Everything I'm going to talk about now is just a bunch of tools for getting useful stuff done, and I want you to think about it in those terms. So, what are we talking about? I'm sure you've all heard of Twitter. Maybe a few of you are even tweeting right now. I'm sorry if I'm that boring. But yes, it can seem a bit banal to start off with, but actually it's a really useful way of linking up with people who have similar interests. LinkedIn, Google+, also useful tools for the same purpose, used in different communities and different disciplines. So I'd encourage you to look around and see what your colleagues and peers are using there. Blogging can be a really good tool for disseminating results and for kind of throwing new ideas around. You don't have to go totally down the open lab route, although that can work for some people, but it can be a really good way of getting some feedback on ideas. Research data management is a big one at the moment. The funders and publishers are getting really hot on making data more accessible, and in order to do that, you have to look after it properly right from the word go. That can have some real benefits for you as well. No more data disappearing when your students leave. No more panics when you realise that the pen drive with your thesis on is in the washing machine. No more hunting around for that graph that you're sure is there but not quite sure where. This is one of mine. This is a virtual research environment. That kind of means slightly different things to different people, but mostly what we're talking about is a set of online tools for collaborating and sharing ideas on a smaller setting, say in a research team or a research group. And that kind of links in as well with electronic lab notebooks, which are similar to real paper lab notebooks, but with the advantage that they're easily backed up, they're easily shareable, they're easily searchable, that kind of thing. So I think what makes a lot of these things work comes down to networking. It's now possible to build loose connections with a large number of people in a way that would never have been possible before the internet. That kind of linking together of people and things makes it easier to cross-fertilise ideas. It's much easier you're giving kind of serendipity a better chance. You're more likely to come into contact with an unusual idea that you can use to your advantage. There's a certain amount of evidence that sharing data underlying a research paper actually can bring you more citations for that paper, which we all like with the ref around the corner. And it can also help reduce risk. This is a picture of the Mountbatten building at the University of Southampton, which was gutted by fire in 2005. Everything physically stored in this building was destroyed. The only stuff that was saved was work that was stored on network storage nice and safely. So there's downsides as well. These kind of things can be quite a time sink. You can spend ages tinkering with some new tool or tweaking your setup to make sure it's exactly right and not getting enough of work done. You also have to be a bit careful kind of what stuff you entrust to the cloud, largely because you don't have any real guarantees that it's still going to be there when you wake up in the morning, but also just because storing sensitive commercial or personal information outside the university is always a risk, and you need to weigh that up against the benefits. The key is to have a plan, set goals, make them smart, make them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-boxed. A few minutes just kind of scribbling down some ideas on the back of an envelope up front can make it much easier later on when you're saying, is this tool working for me or not? Once you've set some parameters, experiment, try things out, have a bit of fun with it. Ask around at conferences, ask around in the department. People always like to talk about the stuff that they do. If you want to find out more about this stuff, here's some plugs now. Tracy Stead in the Research Development Unit is running a series of lunchtime briefing sessions on social media. The next one of those will be on the 23rd of January and would be about blogging. My current work is about research data management, part of the Research 360 project. We're developing infrastructure and helping support people with looking after their data. If you've got any data-related questions, please do drop us a line. We'll be delighted to hear from you, and we'll do our best to help. It would be weird of me to talk about all this stuff without showing you where to find me on the internet, so there's that. And with my final few seconds, I would like to encourage you all to go away today and try out one new tool this Christmas. Thank you very much.